But I definitely don't think that all this shit here with the fucking tablets and stuff is the answer either. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Jason here. You are joining me yet again for another video where we dive into the headspace of more vegan related content. So today's video is a recap of Mike the Vegan's response video to raw alignment. The reason I wanted to bring this up is that there are some things that are starting to bug me, especially within the vegan propaganda movement, train, whatever the hell you want to call it. It originally started out as veganism, and the amount of information that has been put out there and then repeated in circles seems to be getting out of control. And a few of these points have kind of stuck with me, and I've started to explore them a little bit further, and it just doesn't strike me as such a natural thing to be doing. And what I'm talking about here in particular is the supplementation or the specific recommendations of certain foods that we should be consuming if we feel like there is something wrong with our diet. People are going to take this the wrong way. There's going to be so many different things put out there about myself. I know I'm not a huge channel, but the main things people love to say is that promoting a not vegan diet, or I'm ex-vegan, or coming up to ex-vegan, or I look like shit because whatever reason they want, any list of troll related comments. This is my disclaimer to those. By all means, go for gold, call me whatever you want. My main focus, if you've been following my channel for a while, is to explore these ideas and to look at them a little bit further than the masses tend to put out to us, or other YouTubers and their agendas. I really want to look behind what the agendas are, but also see if there is some other sort of answer that we may be missing. And there's not always an answer to, I mean, there's not always like a second answer to these things. More often than not there is, but yeah, I'm not trying to find a million and one reasons why something isn't right. I usually look at stuff that starts to like stick with me, and it doesn't feel right to continue to listen to this, the propaganda, the nonsense that gets put out. So that's why they stick with me. I'm not out there trying to discredit everything. I'm trying to find some sort of truth, or keep feeling my way to the truth. In amongst the feeling, the intuition and the feelings and all that hippie shit, use some sort of science-based evidence, research, stuff that I've read coming from people of value and, you know, have got their credentials, and then try and mash the two together. I'm not into just taking everything at face value that a research report has said, because like I've said many times before, and I'm sure you know you've seen it as well, science can be used to prove anything. It can be used to prove that vegan diet is fantastic and is the 100% only way to live in society, and it can be used to prove that a vegan diet will kill you in a matter of days, years, weeks, whatever. We know that's not true. You can eat, you can survive very well on a plant-based diet. So the point I'm trying to make here, which I'll go back to, is primarily the supplementation and the recommendations for the amount of different packaged foods that we're told to eat. So I know it's a long intro into that, so I'll wrap this one up with saying, I'm not going to wrap it up. What am I? Who am I? You guys know that I won't wrap this thing up that quickly. The food, the fish with the DHA, the ALAs, the EPAs, all of these omega-3, these fatty acids that are told that we know are very important to our health, especially our brain function, our eye function, our spinal cords, like all of the very, I mean, everything is important in the human body, but these even more so, our brain and our spine, nervous system, to then say that fish is not the right way to go because it's high in mercury, and then you're led to believe that all fish is high in mercury. That's not the case. The point that they try and push through is that you don't need to eat fish, you need to go straight to the source. And the source is the algae oils, and that is the supplementation that is going to make you feel better if you feel like you aren't getting enough of the omega-3s or the fatty acids and that sort of stuff. And I think something that the people who, you know, continue on with this sort of propaganda, they continue to forget is that these animals have consumed algae in the case of fish, or in the case of, say, cows, and, you know, where do we get protein from and all that sort of stuff? We'll go straight to the source, go straight to the greens that the cows eat, you know, the grass or leaves or whatever the hell they're consuming on their diets, and eat that, and you'll get the protein source straight from there. But the animals have gone through the process, have gone through a calorie expenditure process, being that of their digestion, to break down these greens or seeds or whatever the hell they're eating, algae in the case of the fish, and then the vitamins and minerals are stored in their body. And over the course of history, humans have used the protein, the muscle, the fat off those animals to give themselves the nutrient benefits of those plants. Now, obviously, we know we don't have to do that straight from animals, and we can go to the plant source. But I think it's very naive, even within the science element, to say that the best way to consume it is from the source. And there is going to be science that says that is the best way to do it. So I'm discredited straight away. But then there's science that say that's not the best way to do it, because to absorb the DHA in the fish, you need to have a balance of several other vitamins and minerals. And from the top of my head, it was vitamin B3, B6, magnesium, zinc. Now, these have to be balanced in your body in order to absorb the DHAs. And you might get a supplement that then has the DHAs with all of these other minerals in it. And, you know, it's like, wow, there's a saving grace. Let's just eat our way through supplements to support life. And it was just that continues to stick with me, and it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound natural. I mean, you got to be fucking out of your mind if you think that supplementation is natural. And yes, of course, a lot of our agriculture has been fucked up over the years with different pesticides and sprays, and the way it's been farmed and how it's shipped around the world and then stored in cold rooms. We get that, but there's got to be a more natural way. And I think the way I feel like I'm moving towards is having my food closer to home. And I know that is also something that has been said for decades, for millennia, for centuries, even more so in the last couple of decades, to reduce the plastics that we are using, to reduce the environmental impact and all that sort of stuff, to eat your food closer to home in order to sustain yourself with all the right nutrients. And now I do feel like the video has gone off on a few different tangents, but I'm basically just talking about how I think about these things and how they don't sit well with me when I see a video. In this case, like we've said, is Mike the Vegan saying, if you have problems with what you're eating in your diet, then just go towards this supplement. And I've got like supplements here. I take my magnesium. There's some greens powder that we're getting through, which I don't really think you need, but it's got the bloody algae and shit like that in here. Other minerals, it's like the stuff is sort of out of control. Using the food example, saying, well, look, you can just eat linseed, flaxseed, which is that's what that is, or you can have chia seeds, or you can have friggin' sunflower seeds and pepitas to get the protein, and buckwheat, or fucking whatever else it is. Look at that, like, just the amount of shit in order to get the same nutrients that would have been out of one fish. That isn't making sense to me. People can go on rants and say, well, this is just the next step to, end stage veganism, or, finishing veganism. I'm not about that. I'm asking you the question, do you see it as well? Do you feel that as well? What do you think about when you're putting all these things together? Thinking about the animals, it doesn't make sense, because I definitely don't think that the answer is to be going into farmed fishing. I don't think the answer is to be coming into animal agriculture. But I definitely don't think that all this shit here with the fucking tablets and stuff is the answer either. I think there's something else. I don't quite know what it is. It does seem like it is about getting the sources more closer to home. That's definitely one thing. But maybe it's not. I don't know. Basically, like I said a minute ago, I'm putting the question out there. What do you think about when people are, telling you, in particular, Mike the Vegan, Goji Man, Vegan Gains, science, 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 all the people are just science-based and then saying, you know, go towards products, what do you think about when they believe that that is the answer? Like I said, personally, I don't see that as the answer. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to wrap it up and leave that one there. That's my question to you. What do you think is the answer to this high supplementation, high products from around the world to meet your daily requirements? I don't think it's a bad thing, but I don't think it doesn't feel like it's the answer, even though science said it is. I'll leave that one to you guys. That's probably a bit of an open-ended idea towards the whole video, and I'll probably look back on it and think, oh man, I should have put that in, should have put that in, and that. But that's what I'll leave the next video for. Cool. All right. I feel like I got that one off my chest to some degree. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me. Catch up, chat on Facebook and Instagram. I'm looking at in the future if I can get some momentum going with the channel and people jumping on board, that I will put together a group and then possibly some sort of, you know, community or environment there. But I think first I need to see how well we can progress with the channel from here on in. Thanks again. You know where the links are down below. Join me there. I'll see you guys at the next video. And until next time, have more fun and get more done.